Alright, welcome back.
We got the compass! It's a key feature.
This link's just been frozen on the screen now, like, please!
Please help me!
Please help, I can't move!
I hate these enemies so much.
I get. That's because you should be bombing the dongos.
Dongo! Right, I have bombs.
So, before I forget again.
Before we forget to rant about it.
So, Cyberpunk, right? Cyberpunk 2077.
Cyberpunk, edge.
It's come out, and everyone is mad. Everyone's mad because it is super incredibly totally broken. That's understandable. That's one of those, that's understandable. Have a nice day.
Understandable. Have a nice day.
But, it's kind of gotten a little out of control in the past several days.
I only know about, like, everybody initially was like, oh, it's so bad, it's blah blah, and I was just like, guys, it's probably not as bad as you're making it out to be.
So, I will admit, it is extremely bad on PS4 and Xbox One.
Yes.
It's absolute trash fire. Do not buy it on PS4 and Xbox One. And if you're going to, at least wait for their patch, because there's going to be a patch.
Probably, it's going to be a huge patch,
it's a huge patch, but it's not coming out for a while. So, like, don't buy it until at least that comes out, and then see what people say about it before you buy it. Because a lot of the backlash...
this dungeon is.
But a lot of the backlash for stuff like this is because people pre-order the game. This is why pre-orders shouldn't exist, by the way.
I like the idea of pre-ordering, and at the same time, I think it's a terrible idea.
Yeah, no, when pre-ordering first was introduced, it was smart, because what it was you were guaranteed to get a game, and you would normally get it, like, a little early, right? Yeah. Not, like, a lot early, but you get it, like, right when it's shipped to the store.
Yeah.
So you get it, like,
you didn't have to wait
2 or 3
in case
days
people
beforehand. Yeah, you get it like 2 or 3 days before it officially went on sale, and you wouldn't have to worry about not being able to find a copy in time for fucking, like, Christmas or whatever holiday, right? Made sense. New fucking pre-order system? Garbage. Absolute trash garbage. It's completely unnecessary. Because what they do now is they build up pre-orders and give you stupid dumb shit. They give you, like, oh, pre-order it and you'll get like 100,000 in-game currency that is totally fucking worthless to you. Or like, you'll get DLC gun that's kind of stronger than the guns in the game, but not really that much better.
It's sad how true that is, though.
And it's like incredibly stupid. And
up or down? Or up or left?
Left. I'm feeling left. They were not feeling left, though.
They were raw.
But, so, like, you'd pre-order it, but now it's like, you pre-order it, right? Mm-hmm. And it's just, you get some garbage. They print 10 billion copies of the game because that's the only way they'll make their money back, so you'll never have to worry about not getting a copy of the game.
That's like, the annoying thing nowadays.
Like, the original point of a pre-order was like, well, it's pre-ordered, but, like, we're only releasing so many copies of this game because, like, we don't only think it's going to sell this many copies. We're not going to overproduce them. Yeah, and we want to make a profit. And now it's just like, Herder, I'm going to print 14 billion copies of this fucking game. And if it doesn't sell all 14 billion of them, then we didn't make a profit this year.
I got some arrows. I don't have a bow. Ouch.
And the pre-order system exists pretty much solely to supplement development costs now as well. Because it's like, the more pre-orders that we get, the less copies we actually need to sell to make our money back. And then GameStop obviously pushes it because they get a cut of the pre-orders. And that's like the only way they make money off of new games. It's telling you need the feather. I think you'd need more than the feather for that.
So what it is I need the... What's it called? The grappling hook.
The stabby sword.
Yes. The stabby sword. The hand gesture.
Yeah, I remember. I remember the item. See, I was wondering when you were gonna start using shield to get by those. but I wasn't gonna say anything about it.
Let me ego rapture it?
Yeah. So, like, can't you, like, block those with shields? And I was like, you can.
I just don't.
Dude, I get it. That's how I play most Zelda games. I'm just like, oh yeah, I can, like, block here. Anyways. So yeah, what happened, I think, is a lot of people pre-ordered the game before any release or information or playthroughs came out, and then they, like, got home and played it, and they were just like, why is this so broken? And I was like, I don't know, stop giving companies monies for games you've never even seen, let alone played ahead of time. That'll teach him. I think you're supposed to throw his head and chuck it.
No.
Ah. That would be a lot cooler, though. Nicely done. This is kind of in-depth for a mini-boss.
Yeah, and the only reason I know how to fight him is because I've played the game before.
Well, I mean, it is a remake, Derek. Should have played it already.
I should have played it. And now he skedaddles.
Well, Derek, if the boss wasn't hard to deal with and you had to learn how to fight him, then everyone would bitch that he's just another giant eyeball boss.
I think that's a fake chest, but I'm gonna open it anyway.
It was a fake. Oh, the master of the dungeon literally wrote you a note to fuck with you. That's some fucking lore development right there. I get that. I'm feeling that
So
one.
I think he's in, he's the boss that you have to, like, run around and find him. And I know what room he's in, I think, but continue with your rant.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Fallout 76 came out, and so yeah,
Fallout 77.
yeah, so Cyberpunk 2077 comes out, and you know they were withholding review units from reviewers.
Oh, that's a first sign.
Which is normally a bad sign, but reviewers were also consistently calling the game racist. So it makes sense that they wouldn't send them fucking review copies. Because when you're literally releasing one article every day about how your game is either racist or transphobic, of course they're not going to give you that to review for free. So, ironically, I would say game journalists are half the reason why this ended up being so bad, because if the game journalists were being nice, and they still didn't get a review copy, people probably would have been skeptical. But because they were being a fucking asshats, they went, well, of course they're not going to send them things, they're being asshats. So literally, like, CG Projekt Red got a freebie on that one to be like, well, if we don't send it to reviewers, no one's going to question it because they made it so easy for us not to.
Yeah.
Where it became skeptical, though, is when they were sending it to influencers, like the YouTube reviewers, and they were like, you can't show your own gameplay footage until the game comes out. That's when it was like, alright, something's up.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, something's wrong here.
That's a little fucking sketchy if you ask me.
Yeah. That was my warning of, like, because the game reviewers, it was like, yeah, I'm not too surprised they're not getting a copy, because they've been asshats for the past, 2 months. But when the YouTubers started getting their copies, but they were like, we're not allowed to show gameplay footage, I was like, that's suspicious. I'm like, that's suspicious.
Which is, it's so annoying because I really want that game to succeed.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. It's gonna get a re-release on officially on the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5, and it's probably going to be mint. And
I believe it's already out on those, and it performs so well on those.
No. It uses the backwards compatibility of those two consoles to play the PS4 and Xbox One versions of them on those consoles.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it's very weird, but it runs mint on those. If you use backwards compatibility mode, it actually runs really well. The problem is that it runs really bad on the Xbox.
On the consoles it
And
was
the
actually released on.
And it's, yeah, so like the Xbox runs at a consistent, crisp 20 frames a second. And the PS4 version runs at a staggering 15. Just awe-inspiring level of quality of detail. So people are mad.
Rightfully so.
Rightfully so, because that's really bad. See, when people come out and they're bitching about frame rate, I'm normally like, get over it.
Get over it.
But they're also normally running at 30, not 20 and 15.
Yeah, they normally don't have a point. This time, they have a point.
Yeah, they have a point. Which, it was actually funny to me because I was watching a guy talk about it, and he was just like, he's like, this game is absolutely 100% unplayable at 15 frames a second. There is no possible way any human could play this game at 15 frames a second. And I was just like, yeah, man, no possible way to play any game at 15 frames a second. It's totally impossible to do that, thinking back to the time where I played Portal 1 on a Windows Vista PC at 15 frames a second the entire game, because I just didn't have a better computer at the time. Totally impossible. I would never be able to do it.
Yeah, I mean, people are dumb logic.
Really, frame rate is bad. Frame rate is like, yeah, that's kind of unplayable at that point. But that's not my main problem. My main problem is that the game consistently crashes. Just like, consistently crashes. Which, ironically, the new Call of Duty game also really bad about that. Like, apparently the new Call of Duty game just crashes all the time now, too. So there's just something up with this, this last, like...
Few games.
Yeah, these last few games pushing into next gen on the old gen just crash all the time. It's very weird. I'm amazed that one didn't get him. Ow. It's out. But, what was the other stuff? Oh, yeah. Like,
yeah.
there's so much, dude, there's so much to cover on stupid topics. So, but what I do find ironic about this, right, is they had, after all these years of people being like, just release the game already, I'm sick of waiting for it, they released the game and it's broken and everyone's just like, how dare you?
That's my favorite part about this entire situation.
Yeah.
Everybody's just like, the game is so broken, blah blah, and it's just like they were trying to hold off on putting out the game because they knew it was going to be bad.
Yeah, and then like, fuck it, essentially.
Fuck it, I want...
Yeah, fuck it, I want. What's that Miyamoto quote? A delayed game will eventually be good, but a bad game will be bad forever. Something like that. Yeah. Which is hilarious because he's been asked about that quote, and now whenever it gets brought up, he's just like, "Yeah, I wish I didn't say that." He's like, it's too harsh. It gives off the feeling of like, if a bad game is bad, it's just bad forever, and there's nothing you can do about it. But like, people are trying to make good things. He's like, I feel like it's just ripping on their dreams, and I'm like, that's fair. Also, you're too nice of a person. You did it.
I did.
You convinced him to turn around.
I convinced him.
Who else was there? Was there a lot? I mean, then there's everyone that's just like, it looks really bad. Which, I mean, because they're like, it doesn't look as good as the trailer or the original gameplay reveal. And all I could think of was like, yeah, no shit, welcome to every game ever made for the past 10 years. What do you mean?
I love that.
They're like, when they originally showed the game, there was this huge fucking, like, sprawling landscape, and there were so many NPCs walking around, but, like, now when you play it, there's, like, barely any NPCs walking around, and I'm like, yeah, no shit, dude.
What I love is, you do that, you say that, and then there's literally pictures of little videos of people playing the game, and NPCs are just loading in around them, and it's just like, what?
Yeah. It's incredibly, like, obviously the crowds are low so to reduce pop-up and lag, which still didn't work, by the way. It's still laggy as shit, but it's fucking... It's just funny to me because they're like, this whole thing is a lie. The whole video reveal was a lie, and I'm like, no, it's not. I'm like, it was clearly the PC version of the game. If you go and see the PC version on max settings, it looks exactly like what they showed in the fucking thing. It doesn't look as good on console because the consoles are not powerful enough to do it.
Yeah.
It's not that complicated, guys.
Literally, I've seen a couple people playing it on the PC, and I was just like, wow, this game looks beautiful. And then I went, and that's because they're not playing it on the console.
Yeah, like, literally every video game controversy can be broken down into...
What are you playing it on?
No. It literally comes down into, like, people bitch about legitimate things, and then people bitch about illegitimate things, and then everyone looks like an asshole.
I hate people, man. I hate them so much.
Like, is that not how it ends?
No, it is very true.
Every time. Because it's like, here are my legitimate criticisms of this, and then everyone's just like, but look at all this other stuff that I don't like.
I don't like it. I don't feel good about it, so I don't like it.
It's like, it's not the problem. But yeah. What was the other one? There was one more thing, I think, which was... We covered... Oh, and now the refunds. That's right. Because PlayStation just pulled it off its market, like, altogether.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a big deal because, like...
People were losing their shit about that, like, a lot.
That's like, actually a big deal, because I don't think Nintendo has ever pulled anything off their marketplace, ever. I think a lot of that is just because of the uproar, because CD Projekt Red was just like... Get refunds through the companies first, and then if it doesn't work out, you can get refunds through us. But, like, all of these, all of these... Marketplaces, yeah, there we go. It was, like, overwhelmed with, like, reeing super hard.
We want refunds, re.
So I think Sony just went, until this game was fixed, like, we're done with this, and just took it off the market, because they were sick of giving the refunds.
Yeah.
Because Sony has a pretty strict no refund policy. Unlike Xbox, who literally is just like, if it's less than, I think, like, 2 hours or something of you playing it, you can, like, refund it immediately.
Steam.
No, Xbox.
Oh, Xbox?
Specifically. Steam's even more lenient. Like, you can literally just be like, I didn't like this game after playing it for, like, fucking 12 hours. And they'll be like, alright.
If you have played a same game on Steam for more than 2 hours total playtime, in less than 2 weeks, then you can get a refund on it.
Oh, okay. Well, less than 2... I know it's more linear than that, though, because I've seen people refund games that they've played for 12 hours.
But it's just one of those things, it's like, are you serious?
They have a really relaxed refund policy. And you know why they have a really relaxed refund policy?
Because there's a lot of shitty games?
Well, one, yes. But also, it's because it's all digital. So... them sending you the game and taking it back cost them nothing.
It cost you nothing. Good day, sir!
Yeah, it cost you nothing. It's like those DLC items I was talking about. That doesn't cost the company anything. It's a stupid little piece of code in the game that tells them that, hey, you get this thing.
That enables it or not.
Yeah, like, it doesn't cost them anything. They spent more money shipping you the disc than giving you the DLC you pre-ordered.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I need more bombs to be able to finish this boss. And they don't keep dropping, so... I gotta run out of the dungeon real quick.
You gotta go grind, dude.
Gotta go grind.
Whole dungeon resets.
I would hope not. I don't remember, though.
I don't know. I can never remember in Zelda games. Sometimes I feel like they do,
so.
and sometimes I feel like they don't. I'm just not sure.
Doo-ba-doo-doo. Doo-ba-doo-boo-boo.
Okay. Speaking of other Nintendo things, though, fucking Super Nintendo World at Universal Studios Japan
did see a little bit of that.
pretty much fucking done, and they just had a Nintendo Direct about it, like, I don't know, 2 days ago or something.
Yeah.
And I've been so hyped for this fucking park, man. I want to go so bad, but also COVID, and also in Japan.
End of the world, and also the end of the world, and Japan.
In Japan. But it's also coming to the Florida parks and the California parks, which means eventually I'll be able to make it one of them, assumably.
Yeah, we'll go at some point, Chris. We'll go to Super Mario Land, 3D.
Which is saying something, because Derek's not a theme park person.
Yeah, well, I'll
He'd go. And he'd go. Think about that, people. It's worth it. It's really cool. They put like a whole bunch of like interactive shit in the world.
I did see a
which
little
I'm
of that.
super like hell yeah about. Like you can literally go around punching question mark blocks and it'll make them noise. Collecting coins.
I love it.
And I'm just like, this is the fucking greatest thing ever.
Like I didn't watch the full trailer. I watched a little bit clips because I saw a video somebody had posted and I clicked through it. And I went, oh, that's pretty neat.
Oh, man, like I cannot wait to actually be able to like go to something like that. I remember because I remember when the rumors were out, because I am a theme park and aficionado man. I like my theme parks, but I remember the rumors were going around and all the like people were like, there's no way they're gonna actually go through with that, and I was like, I don't know, man. I'm like, it's kind of an easy sell at this point.
It's Nintendo.
It's fucking Nintendo. I'm like, and if they're planning on putting it in the Japanese park first, like, that's essentially a freebie. Because the Universal Parks Japan are like, the Universal Parks in Japan are kind of crazy. Like, I don't know if you've seen any of like Universal Japan.
I have not.
So like, Disney is like still Disneyland. You know what I mean? Like, you go to the Disneyland theme park and you're getting Disneyland.
Yes.
But like, in Japan. With some new stuff. You go to Disneyland Universal. Universal's a movie company that like helps publish a lot of stuff in Japan, so they like get rights to a whole bunch of like more interesting shit. Like they had an Evangelion ride and fucking Attack on Titan stuff and like One Piece, I think at one point. And I was just like, oh, and Monster Hunter.
Hunter Monster?
Yeah, Monster Hunter. They made a, dude, I gotta show you it at some point, because you like Monster Hunter. They made a giant Monster Hunter monster, like 1-to-1 scale animatronic.
That's pretty neat.
It's fucking dope.
They're making a new one for the Switch, and a new Monster Hunter for the Switch. I'm like, I want to pick that up at some point.
It's a single-player story-based one, though. It's not a typical Monster Hunter game.
Yeah, but still, it's Monster Hunter for my Switch. I'll take it.
Yeah, but like, it's Monster Hunter, and like, I'm like addicted to it, so like... did we finally get the hook shot?
Mm-hmm.
Is this also the only hook shot where it's a rope and not a metal chain?
I think so.
I think so. Oh, interesting.
You want to cut it a little short, and then we'll go get the rest of the crap we're missing?
Mm-hmm. And with that, we'll see you in the Jesus.
We'll see you in the Jesus.
We'll see you guys in the next part. We'll see you then. Peace.